Slow living means taking a slower and more purposeful approach to how we live our everyday life. And I know for me, just by making a few small changes to my daily routines, it does make it a lot easier to live a more balanced life with more enjoyment and less stress. So today I want to make this idea of slow living simple for everyone by sharing 30 do's and don'ts of slow living. Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, this is a place where you can get tips and inspiration for living a simpler, happier, and calmer life. So if you want to follow along whenever I post a new video, then be sure to click subscribe down below. Before we begin, this video is kindly sponsored by my friends over at IKKYU Tea. Drinking a cup of tea is one of my favorite ways to relax and slow down, as most of you probably know, and you cannot find anything better when it comes to Japanese green tea than IKKYU. So I am very excited that they agreed to sponsor me again today. The green teas from IKKYU come from dedicated tea farmers whose teas are celebrated for their quality but are still barely known outside of Japan. And the quality is just incredible. You can really tell how much love and care they put into these teas, and whenever I drink them, it's just a completely different experience and the best I've ever tasted. They also come with lots of information about the tasting notes, where they are produced, and how they recommend preparing it. So even if you're completely new to the world of green tea, then you will definitely be able to enjoy them too. Plus, right now is a perfect time because the Shincha season has started. Shincha means that it is made from the first flush of the year, so it's packed with even more nutrients and flavor. And this time they sent me 3 different Shinchas to try. They're all amazing, especially this one called Ray is really good, and it's a nice gentle energy boost as well. If you want to try them for yourself, IKKYU is offering my viewers a 15% discount on your entire order, so I will put the link and the discount code in the description box for you. Highly recommend checking them out. Really big thanks to IKKYU for their support. Let's begin with the slow living do's and don'ts. Do unplug. Slow living doesn't mean ditching your technology, but in a world where we are always connected and available and we are connected to our devices all day, every day, it can be so nice to just say, not now. To put your phone away or put it on airplane mode. This is one of the first things I do whenever I feel like slowing down, getting back to myself, if even only for 30 minutes, to just be without a screen and unplug. Don't think that slow living can only be done if you have lots and lots of time. There is this idea about slow living that you need to go and live in a cabin in the woods and make your own clothing and pick flowers and grow your own food in order to embrace slow living. But I believe that slow living is available for all of us, even those who live in the city or who lead busy lives. Slow living doesn't mean having lots of time and an empty calendar. It just means being mindful about what you put in that calendar, not rushing through life or thinking that we always have to be busy and say yes to everything. Paying attention and feeling present and enjoying your days instead of always feeling rushed. And you can do that in small ways, even if you only have a couple of minutes. Do take 3 minutes in between activities. This is a very simple thing that truly has been a game changer for me. So don't hop from one activity to the next, but take 3 minutes to process what you just did, catch your breath, and prepare for the next thing. Don't tie your self-worth to your productivity. In our society, it's almost like we cannot judge ourselves as good or worthy unless we're always busy and being productive and being on the go. So let me tell you something. You are a living being. You are worth the sun and the moon and the stars just by being you, even if you just sit on the couch doing nothing. You can be as productive as you want, but know that your self-worth is a value and not a condition. Do focus on the time you have, not on the time you don't. Even 5 minutes matter. I think one of the most important things when it comes to slow living is being able to recognize and spot these little pockets of time that naturally occur in your day, and then spending them in a way where you can actually enjoy them. Instead of immediately grabbing your phone and scrolling away, just take a look around, take a deep breath, enjoy your surroundings. If you're maybe waiting in line somewhere, or you're commuting, or you're waiting for the water to boil, just enjoy those moments and let your mind wander. Don't focus so much on the end result that you forget to enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process, then things will always get done, and the end result will probably even be better because you were present enough to enjoy the process. Do embrace slow travel. We recently spent a couple of days at the beach and I had an amazing time because we didn't have any plans. We just did what we felt like in the moment, and I used to travel with these crazy itineraries where I would come back from traveling exhausted and needing another vacation. So slow travel suits me much better, and you can also apply this to individual daily outings. Don't think that slow living means you have to do everything very slowly. It's not about living in slow motion and losing time by doing everything very slowly. It's more about not rushing and doing things at the right speed. So instead of always focusing on getting things done faster, 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 you focus on getting things done better and actually being able to enjoy them and doing the things that are worthwhile. Do enjoy the occasional silence. We have learned to always put something on in the background whenever we have a few minutes to kind of fill up the silence. But silence can be very wonderful and healing, and for me, having a few minutes of silence is very similar to drinking a glass of water if I'm really thirsty. Speaking of which, don't always focus on instant gratification and fast answers. Everything in our world always needs to go fast. We order something today, and then if we don't have that thing by tomorrow, then we consider that late. Try focusing on patience and learning to be able to wait for stuff sometimes, because we don't always have to have that urgency. Do check in with yourself a couple of times a day. Take a moment to see how you're feeling. Do you need to stretch? Do you need to drink some water? Do you need to call a friend and vent about something that's bothering you? Try to listen to the signs that your body and your mind is giving you and then acting on them. Don't try to avoid feeling bored. Boredom is something that I learned to dislike. When I was a kid, I loved being bored. And then I just felt like if I was feeling bored, I wasn't making the most of my day. But boredom can actually be a really nice thing. It gives our brain a little rest. It can help with creativity, with problem solving, with just being agile in your mental capacity. And a lot of good things can only start happening as soon as we slow down and stop being so busy. Do go to bed when you're feeling tired and dealing with a dilemma. I've learned that whenever I'm dealing with something or I'm feeling overwhelmed and I can't really make a decision, instead of ruminating on it endlessly, I just go to bed. And I will wake up the next morning feeling well rested. Usually I feel a lot better and I'll feel more equipped to deal with whatever's going on. Don't feel like everything needs to be recorded and documented. It's almost like if we don't take pictures or if we don't share what we did online, then it's like we were never there. But you miss so much when you're only looking at things through a lens. So take a few minutes, set them apart to make your photos, take your videos, share what you want to share on social media, and then put your phone away and actually live those moments instead of only documenting them. Do sit down at your meals. I've learned that I enjoy my food so much more if I sit down for my meal without distractions, without any screens, and it helps me to appreciate and feel grateful for my food a lot more, and even help with snacking less, because I will feel satiated after a meal for much longer. Don't keep going when you really need to take a break. I know that when you're really busy, it can be tempting to just keep going so you can cross off every item on your list as quickly as possible. But if you do that, I've learned that it can lead to burnout. Breaks are vital for your happiness and your health, and also just for enjoying life more. It's not just about getting everything done. There's more to life than your to-do list. Do recognize FOMO and let it go. FOMO makes us do things we don't want to do or don't realistically have the time or energy to do, simply because we don't want to miss out. And learning to let go of FOMO can be very helpful in slowing down your life, because it teaches us that we don't have to say yes to everything. We don't have to cram our calendar to the max just so that we can experience it all. You can't even experience it all, even if you tried. And just learning to appreciate and focus on the most important things. Don't multitask all day. Studies have shown that multitasking can lead to a loss of concentration, focus, memory, increased stress levels. So try to pick at least one activity a day to single task. I always like to do this with laundry. It helps me to clear my head for a few minutes, feel the fabric, smell the detergent. It's just a nice thing that I do. Do start saying no. You don't have to do it all. We want to try and avoid conflict or not be rude or don't hurt anyone's feelings. But saying no to things that you just don't want to do or you just don't have the energy or the time to do can be very freeing, and it can help you to clear out some of your calendar for the things that do bring you joy. Don't rush in traffic. When I was still commuting to work, I would walk so fast that my shins would start to hurt, only to save like 5 or 10 minutes on my commute. And I would come home feeling stressed and exhausted and tired. So just try to take it a little easier when you can. Do celebrate the change of seasons. I love it when the seasons change because it's a reminder that change is always around us and that we should enjoy things when we can, when they're there, to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So every time the season changes, I have like a little ritual that I like to do to really experience it, depending on which season it is, of course. Don't participate in pointless discussions. Online or in real life, they are a waste of your precious time and energy. Do schedule downtime. The pressures of our modern world unfortunately make it very hard for us to have frequent downtime and alone time. And it's often the case that if we don't schedule it and actively protect those little moments, then we won't have them. So try spotting little windows of opportunity for you to have some quiet time by yourself and actually schedule them. Don't be afraid to keep holidays and special occasions simple and easy. Holidays can be so stressful when the pressure is really high, but in the end, you decide how you want to celebrate the holidays, especially if you are the one hosting. If you love to go all out for the holidays and you enjoy that, then that's great. But if the holidays bring you stress, then figure out what is causing that stress and don't be afraid to keep things really low key. Don't worry about what others think about it. It is your life. And if you ask me, it is just a shame to spend all of November and December each year feeling stressed. Do take mindful breaks instead of mindless breaks. Also a game changer for me, and it doesn't even take more time. It's just that when you do have a break, if even only for a few minutes, try spending them mindfully, because we've become so used to just grabbing our phone or spending our break behind our laptop. And if you do it like that, then your break won't actually be restorative. What I do now is I take a few minutes to stare out the window or to drink a glass of water on the couch or do some stretches. I will put my phone away, I will leave my laptop, and I will actually come back feeling a little refreshed. Don't keep distracting apps on your phone. If you don't have the app installed, then you actually need to go to the browser and log in. So this creates kind of like a little extra boundary to help you spend less time on distracting apps. This is the reason why I deleted Neko Atsume. Is that even still a thing? Let me know in the comments if you recognize that game. It was so much fun, but I spent way too much time on it. Do listen to slow instrumental music or soothing sounds. There's something magical about just putting on some lo-fi to listen to, or some soothing nature sounds or sounds of the rain, things like that. It always puts me in a much more relaxed state of mind. Don't think that doing more is always better. Living more slowly and simply can be like a mindset shift, because we get told that more is always better and we should not waste our life and live every day to the fullest and do as much as possible. But for me anyway, this way of living isn't helping me to enjoy my life more. It's just exhausting and unfulfilling. I would much rather do less and do the things I love and have the energy to actually enjoy those things. Do remember that the world can slow down as soon as you slow down. I've learned that how I experience the world depends mostly on how I'm feeling in that moment. So if I'm feeling stressed and rushed, then that is what life is like for me, and I feel like it's going too fast and I can't keep up and it's very stressful. But when I feel well rested and calm, then I start to see all of those wonderful things about life, and life starts to feel doable again for me. I know that not everyone has the luxury and the privilege of having some free time like me, and I wish that was different. But I also think that just a few minutes can matter. If you choose to spend them slowly and mindfully, it can just really help the rest of the day. Don't forget your breath. When I'm breathing really quickly and shallow, then one of the most helpful things is to just consciously slow down my breath. I will take a few deep breaths in and out. I will sometimes actually like sigh really loudly, or I'll take a big yawn on purpose, and it really helps. I would love to hear your tips and tricks for slowing down your life that are helpful for you. Please leave them in the comments. And this video is part of my Do's and Don'ts series. So if you enjoyed it, I will leave the playlist in the description box. You can watch Do's and Don'ts of minimalism, decluttering, self-care, intentional living, and more. Don't forget to check out IKKYU and try their amazing Japanese green tea with 15% off. Link and discount code in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, then you will also love this one where I share 10 things I do to keep my life simple and calm, or this one where I share my best self-care tips. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye!